Introverts usually think before they speak. Extroverts often do the opposite. They speak to think, figuring out their thoughts as they talk. By the end of this, you won't just understand yourself better, you'll feel validated. So, make sure you watch till the end. Does your heart do a little tap dance of terror when your phone rings unexpectedly?
Yes!
Do you find yourself just watching it flash,
Oh, yes.
waiting for it to stop, only to text back a minute later with, "Hey, sorry I missed your call. What's up?" If you're nodding along, you are so not alone. And it doesn't mean you're awkward or bad at phone calls. There's a rich and complex psychology behind why you feel more comfortable, more you, behind a screen. This isn't some modern flaw. It's a preference deeply rooted in the way your brain is wired. And today, we're going to unpack exactly what that is and why it's more than okay. For generations, the phone call was the gold standard of real connection. But now, for millions of us, texting isn't just an alternative. It feels fundamentally better. It's safer, more thoughtful, and way less invasive. This massive shift isn't just about new technology. It's about our personalities, how our brains function, and our deep, often unspoken, need for control and emotional safety. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that while many people prefer texting, studies consistently show that voice-based communication, like a phone call, tends to create stronger social bonds and a greater sense of connection. People often anticipate that a call will be awkward, but when they actually talk, they report feeling much more connected than they do via text. So why the disconnect? We're going to explore the 4 core psychological drivers that make you want to craft a perfect message instead of speaking your mind in real time. We'll look at everything from our need for cognitive control to the unique processing style of introverts and the very real fear of being judged. By the end of this, you won't just understand yourself better, you'll feel validated. That instinct to text isn't a weakness. It might just be a quiet superpower. Here are a few psychological reasons you prefer texting. The first, and maybe the biggest, reason you prefer texting comes down to a high need for what psychologists call cognitive control. In simple terms, this is the desire to manage, edit, and perfect your thoughts before you share them. A phone call is live. It's improv comedy without the laughs. There are no takebacks. The words just fall out of your mouth, and you can't grab them back. For anyone who values precision and thoughtfulness, this can feel like a high-wire act with no safety net. You're forced to think and talk at the same time, a process that can feel messy, rushed, and vulnerable. Texting, on the other hand, is gloriously asynchronous. It's communication with a built-in pause button. You have the time and space to gather your thoughts, find just the right words, and build the perfect sentence. You can write a reply, read it, wince, delete it, and rewrite it 5 more times before you even think about hitting send. This isn't about being fake, it's about being deliberate. For people who are conscientious and detail-oriented, texting allows them to present the version of themselves that isn't flustered or caught off guard, a version that feels more authentic. This is perfectly explained by media synchronicity theory. The theory states that high-synchronicity media, like phone calls, are great for when you need to brainstorm and converge on an idea quickly. But low-synchronicity media, like texting, are built for conveyance, when you need to carefully transmit information and give the other person time to process it. If you're a texter, it's likely because your brain is optimized for careful conveyance, not chaotic convergence. You care more about getting it right than getting it said right now. The second major factor is personality, specifically introversion. Now, not all texters are introverts, but there's a huge overlap, and the reason is simple. Introverts usually think before they speak. Extroverts often do the opposite. They speak to think, figuring out their thoughts as they talk. For an introvert, an unexpected phone call can feel like a social ambush. It demands an immediate, external response, completely derailing the deep internal processing that comes naturally to them. An introvert's brain doesn't just fetch a piece of information. It connects it to a whole web of existing thoughts, memories, and feelings. That takes a second. When an introvert is forced into the rapid-fire exchange of a call, they can end up feeling drained, overwhelmed, and misunderstood, often hanging up only to think of all the brilliant things they wish they had said. Texting, however, is a paradise for the introverted mind. It respects the think-first approach. That space between messages isn't an awkward silence. It's a vital processing buffer. It provides the time to explore their thoughts and formulate a response that feels authentic and intelligent. This is why many introverts feel they can express themselves more clearly and confidently through text, as it removes the immense social and cognitive pressure of a live conversation. It also boils down to social energy. Introverts operate with a finite social battery, and phone calls are a massive power drain. They demand your full, undivided attention. You're processing sounds, interpreting tone, planning your reply, and managing social cues all at once. Texting, by comparison, is a low-energy transaction. You can engage on your own terms when you have the mental resources without feeling like your energy is being sucked through the receiver. The third reason is the fear of judgment and awkwardness. Let's be real about one of the most powerful motivators here: fear. Specifically, the fear of being judged, a concept psychologists call evaluation apprehension. A phone call is a performance. You're being judged not just on what you say, but how you say it. Your tone of voice, your hesitations, the confidence, or lack thereof, it's all under a microscope. For anyone with a hint of social anxiety, this is a minefield. Your brain goes into overdrive. Did that sound dumb? Was that pause too long? Are they bored? Do they think I'm an idiot? This performance anxiety is a huge reason why so many people suffer from telephone phobia, a recognized form of social anxiety. In a 2019 survey of office workers, a huge number of millennials reported having anxious thoughts when their phone rings. More recent research continues to show that phone anxiety is widespread, especially among younger generations. Texting strips away almost all of those stressful variables. It eliminates the nonverbal cues that cause so much anxiety. There's no tone to misinterpret, no hesitation to be judged, and no awkward silences you feel pressured to fill. The conversation is boiled down to the words themselves, creating a profound sense of emotional safety. For people with social anxiety, texting can feel like a better way to have intimate conversations because the risk of saying the wrong thing is so much lower. This is also where the hyper-personal model of communication comes in. This theory suggests that because texting lets you carefully craft your messages, you present an optimized version of yourself. This can lead to interactions that feel even more intimate and idealized than face-to-face chats, because you're both sharing the best version of your thoughts without the static of social anxiety getting in the way. Texting gives you a shield, and behind it, you might finally feel free enough to be your most authentic self. The fourth reason, the drainage of social and emotional energy. The final piece of the puzzle is the sheer cost of social and emotional energy. Phone calls are demanding. They require what's known as high social presence, the feeling that the other person is right there with you. This creates an intense interaction that commands all of your attention. You can't really multitask during a meaningful phone call. You are fully on. For many people, especially introverts or those who are highly sensitive, this sustained focus is incredibly draining. It's a social marathon. After a few important calls, you might feel completely wiped out, needing to retreat and recharge. Texting, by contrast, is a low-presence, low-energy form of communication. It lets you maintain social ties without feeling like you're constantly being watched. You can reply while making dinner, waiting for the bus, or just chilling on the couch. It's a slow-burn connection that fits into the quiet corners of your day instead of demanding a huge chunk of your time and energy. This preference is also about managing emotional intensity. A phone call carries the full weight of someone's vocal tone, which can transmit anger, joy, or sadness with raw, unfiltered immediacy. Texting turns down that emotional volume. It puts a buffer between you and the other person's raw feelings, giving you the space to process them without feeling overwhelmed. For anyone who is conflict-averse or just prefers to handle strong emotions with careful thought, texting provides a critical layer of emotional regulation, making difficult conversations feel more manageable. So, if you see yourself in all of this, what's the big takeaway? Your preference for texting isn't a character flaw. It's not a sign that you're rude, avoidant, or bad at connecting with people. It's a sign that you are likely a thoughtful, deliberate, and reflective person. It suggests you care about choosing your words with intention. It shows you have a rich inner world and need time to process things deeply. It means you are protective of your energy and mindful of how you engage with others. In a world that often rewards the loudest person in the room, your preference is a quiet testament to the power of consideration. But this doesn't mean you should never pick up the phone again. Sometimes, a call is just more efficient or emotionally necessary. Here are a couple of quick strategies to bridge the gap. First, if you have to make a call you're dreading, prep for it like a text. Spend 5 minutes jotting down a few bullet points of what you want to say or ask. This simple act gives you the structure and control your brain craves, turning an improv scene into a loosely scripted one. It lowers the cognitive pressure and frees you up to be more present. Second, be upfront about your communication style. It is 100% okay to tell someone, "Hey, my brain's a bit scattered right now. Can I text you so I can give this my full attention?" Or, "I'm much better at processing things over text. Is it cool if we message about this?" Most people are happy to meet you where you are, but they can't read your mind. Ultimately, the psychology of preferring texting is the psychology of control, reflection, and self-preservation. It's about wanting to communicate in the most authentic and considered way you can, free from the pressure of a live performance. It's a communication style that values depth over speed and precision over spontaneity. So the next time you let a call go to voicemail, don't feel guilty. See it for what it is, a choice to engage on your own terms, in a way that honors how your mind works. You're not hiding. You're communicating thoughtfully. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the number one reason you prefer texting? Is it the control, the time to think, the lower anxiety, or something else entirely? Drop your story in the comments below. I promise you're in good company. And if this video made you feel a little more seen, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell for more explorations into the psychology of our daily lives. Thanks for watching.